Today's a day where we're going to go camping out back and make some coffee. Get away from the house for a little bit. So we're going to go enjoy the back property with the rusty Watt. Why are those lights on every time I do that? Brought the 65 Chevy rusty Watt to the beach. So now we have a beach that we can hang out. And if the tank was full and I had all that grass cut, we'd have water to look at too. So yeah, I've been working on this for about an hour and a half. I pulled all that stuff back with a shovel and that landscaping rake. There was already a lot of sand here, but there's a lot of work. But yeah, that's what I got so far. I'm gonna probably make some coffee now. It's coffee time. It's about 10:30. Inverters at 115. Let's make some coffee. Let's see how many amps the inverter's pulling from the battery right now. It's probably about 53 amps. So let's see what we got here. 54. Close enough. Let's yeah, it's zeroed out pretty much. Yeah, so we're pulling 54 amps to make some coffee with our 800 watt inverter. Let's see how much power it's taken from the inverter as far as 110 power. How many watts? We're at 110 volts, 5 amps, 558 AC watts, and our hertz is about 60.8, close enough. Power factor 0.98, and our volts is 110. So we'll bring her back down to watts. And yeah, the sun is right there. It's about 10:30. Been working on beachfront property right here. So if the tank was full, we'd have water right there, and we'd have our beach sand right here. This only took about an hour and a half. But now, Rusty Watt has beachfront property to hang out at. And then when I'm done making coffee, I'll pull this panel up. I'm just trying to get all the power I can. That extra 5 amps from that panel pointed towards the sun like that. So our battery bank is at 12.8. So let's check that out real quick. We can go in here and look. Or we can just pull this up. I'll just pull this up. It's 12.7. So yeah, I don't have this where I can just set it down without it hitting the track. I need to fix that. Because yeah, it's hitting the track in there. So yeah, we're making some coffee. I'm making 2 cups of coffee. We got our coffee made. So let's pour some coffee real quick. This coffee maker runs up around 158 degrees most of the time on the coffee. I can check that real quick. Let's grab a little temperature. 155 right now, 156. So what we got here is donated freezer. It's a Magic Chef, and it needs a little work just to make it look better and clean it up. So I got 2 distilled waters in there. It also has a freezer portion. I guess I could put this up here so they would get cooler quicker. And we'll see what happens there. There's no door. I'm gonna have to make a door somehow. I got a temperature gauge in there. So right now, outdoor temperature is, which is, indoor is this thing, and outdoor is the actual the refrigerator, if I can speak. So yeah, 75.8 is what the temperature is in there. And it should start cooling off pretty quick. And we're running it on Rusty Watt here. We're pulling 158 watts, which is equal to 1.93 amps. So let's see what, and how many volts. At 115 volts. All right, so let's go back down. We're pulling 158 watts. So let's see what our little clamp meter says, how much we're pulling from the battery to do this. Because we are doing this straight from the sun. Technically, we're not pulling from the battery too much. All right, let's zero this hot rod out. 14 amps. Yeah, so our battery bank should be up. Let's check our voltage. 14 amps to run that. Plus I'm running the laptop. Well, I don't think the laptop's on. But we're at 14.2 volts. So yeah, we're in float mode. We're in charge mode. It says it's in boost mode on the charge controller. So yeah, we have plenty of power in the morning time, this time of day, to definitely make coffee and run that refrigerator. So that's cool. That is awesome. And like I said, we're running what? All right, so the coffee maker kicked on just for a second to heat up the coffee, and now we're back down to 157. So yeah, this thing's gonna kick on and off to keep the coffee warm, but the fridge is only running 158 watts right now. So let's see how long it takes to get that thing chilled. Time to unload the wood from the solar cart, put on the solar trailer, so we can use the solar cart to run the electric tiller, the solar tiller. So let's get on this. All right, we got a lot of solar stuff going on today, even though it's a little bit cloudy. So this is the electric tiller that I converted with a treadmill motor. I need to put the outside tines back on. I took them off just to see if it would make a difference in the speed as far as torque. It made absolutely no difference. So I'll put them back on eventually. So we got that going, running off of the solar cart with the kind of retrofitted. I just chunked these back on there, these small 100 watts. So it's working just fine with the 100 watts. I had the 200 watt panels on there. Not much difference at all. And of course, we're running the refrigerator freezer, and it's been going for maybe an hour, and it's already down to 42 degrees on the refrigerator part, and it's 76 outside. And of course, we're still heating our coffee up here, so this thing will kick on every now and then. So we got plenty of power to spare, and our battery bank is at 14.2 right now. So let's take a sip of coffee. Ooh, that's going to be hot. We'll let that cool off for a second. So let's carry on here with the tilling and show you how this works. This is running I have it clamped straight to the battery at 36 volts on the solar cart. So let's start a new section here. And of course it's going to slow down, and it'll slow down more when it's cloudy. Like right now, we're getting less voltage because of the clouds. But it does break it up really quick. And it's something like, it's not so obnoxious like a regular tiller. So if you have a problem where you can't handle a regular tiller, this is the way to go. So look, we've already tilled all that since I moved over to this other section. So that's how quick it goes. And you can just let it go, and it'll kind of walk around a little bit if you want. The sun's coming out, so we'll let it speed up, catch its breath for a second. Let's see what our voltage is. Right now, our voltage on each battery is, oh, it's getting away from us. It's about, it was 12.9 is what I saw. And like I said, I'm running, I don't have a switch on this thing yet, so it's kind of dangerous. But I'm just running little bitty lawnmower batteries in this thing. Fire ants are getting my toes. So yeah, these are just little lawnmower batteries. I only have 3. And I'm just clamped on the 36 volt portion. or it goes into the motor. And that's how that works. So I'm going to continue tilling this up, and I'm going to get this whole thing done today, hopefully in the next hour. It's been an hour and a half, and we're down to 35 degrees. It's still running. We still heating our coffee. I've been tilling this with the solar cart. We're running the electric tiller, and I got this little spot to do and that section, and then I'll take the landscaping rake and rake out the rest of the grass, and then we will officially have some nice, look at that, deep beach sand. So I've always had the philosophy of make your where you're at your paradise, so you can go to vacation. Your house, your property is your vacation. So that's what I've been working on this morning. We got Rusty Watt. Don't have a name for the solar cart. Solar cart needs a name, so let's come up with a name for the solar cart. And yeah, it can be 2 words. I know originally I said 1 word for the truck, but Rusty Watt is where we're at on the truck. So we've got to figure out something for the cart. Cart needs a name. And then the other cart right there, that white one looking through there, is going to have solar power again as well. So it's going to need a name too, and it's going to be a companion to Rusty Watt because it's old cart. So that's what I've been doing. The electric solar tiller works great. It's very dangerous. There's no on and off switch, so you have to go over there and unconnect it from the battery. But I do have the belt pretty loose, so if I were to get caught in there, I'm pretty sure it would start slipping. Yeah, and I'm barefoot out here, but I do need to upgrade the safety on this thing. It did lock up once, and here's why. It picked up a rock, and the rock got stuck in between the tine and the frame. So that's the first time it's ever locked up, but that's because it picked up a pretty good sized rock. So we're going to keep this rock. It's going to go in the studio as a souvenir, and that'll be part of the what is that, NFT or something? I don't know. People are doing weird things on the internet. I think they're called NFTs. So that's the progress so far. All right, it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. Let's see, almost 2 hours. And it's down to 37 degrees. It was actually cooler than that. I think it said 34, but I just opened the door. So we're gonna open the door again, and we're gonna check our freezer part here. These were in the freezer part. There we go, and they are frozen. Look at that. There's ice in there already. Within 2 hours. So this thing is really efficient. I got no agenda up way too loud. We're pulling about 118 watts. I love this thing. It's not loud, and I can't wait to clean it up and get it in the house. And I'm gonna run this on solar for sure. The cool thing about this is it doesn't have an automatic defrost. It has a manual, so you press a button right here. You press this button right here for manual defrost, and what that does is that'll heat up that box, and it'll, defrost it obviously. But I won't have to worry about that thing going into automatic defrost to pull really hard on my solar stuff. That's the cool part about this thing. And it looks like this is back when they made stuff to last. So that's really cool. And the ones with these radiators on the back are way more efficient, because the new ones, this is all closed in. I don't know if you can see that, but those metal radiators, so these are way more efficient than the ones that you buy now that are all built in, because it's keeping the heat away from the cold part, and it dissipates the heat a lot better. So yeah, I can't wait to get this thing cleaned up. I could put it in the house like this right now, but it smells pretty bad. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff I need to do, is pull off this tape. There we go. We're already upgrading it. Look at that. It's just like new. There we go. It's brand new. I should just leave it like that and just clean it up. That would be kind of funny. So yeah, I'm really excited about this thing. And of course, just by opening the door, the wattage has been upped a little bit. I got no agenda, way too loud. They're playing that pre-music stuff. But yeah, it's 120 watts now because it's pulling the heat out. That's the way it works.
It's funny though, what's interesting in that report is that they actually gave it an actual number as opposed to overflowing.
With children with these kind of respiratory illnesses, so they're getting things like supportive oxygen therapy, maybe some inhalers, some IV therapy, and if they have a super bacterial infection on top of that virus, then they're also getting antibiotics. So hospitals are definitely feeling that.
Oh yes, Robo, yes. Well, let's throw some stuff out.
It's been about 3 hours, and the fridge part is down to 32.2. Main reason why is the top box lid is not on there, and it's probably spilling over a lot of that cold air into the fridge part. So the way I got this set up here, this PVC pipe's just sitting in here. I'm going to pull all this stuff out to a certain point, and I can have a layout on the front part. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So that the car show's obviously over with, and I want to make the truck more practical and step it up a notch. I want a fridge, freezer in it, like that, but not so big, obviously. And I want to be able to go somewhere and just kind of boondock and have some shade and have an air bed in here and do my work, you know, have my workflow come out of here. So just go somewhere in a parking lot or out in the country on some property, or just even out here on this property. So what I'm going to do is, because this section stops right here, this is what I'm going to start off with and experiment with. I'm going to leave this front part, and that can be where I put stuff, the coffee maker or whatever. So that didn't take long, and I took my time as well. So like I said, I'm planning to just pull this out at first. So this is cool. See, they just slide right out like that. I got them numbered here. 1, 2, and then we're going to do number 3. Slide right out like that. And then I'll store these in the house somewhere. And the pipes come out just that simple. I got them labeled 1. It'll be 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm down to the middle section where I had the support right there. I almost want to lower this fuel cell, like put it right under here and have a little thing built for it. So I'll have more real estate back here. So I'm probably going to end up doing that. That's how I'm going to leave it for a while. I'm going to put plywood here. I'm going to look for a 1/2 inch. The neighbor has some leftover plywood, so it's not so heavy and thick. There'll be plenty strong. Got everything on the cart. So I got all the HO track, the 1/32 scale track, the
shuffle, and I don't know where it is now, but he sent this in to get our attention.
The G scale train track, the plastic for the platforms, and the PVC. And the birdhouse. So taking a lot of weight off of there, which is good. The plywood's going to add a little bit more weight back in, but that's okay. But it took it out that quick, and I could easily put it back in just as fast now. So that's a good deal.
Head now for a month or 2 and nearly starved myself. My pot's got arrested sitting on a shelf. But right about now I got myself in a different mood. I think I could eat a little Mexican food, hey. Well, you know what, man, I see the girl every once in a while. She got real fat, man, she ain't my style. Got me a new cooking, that's a chew. Eat a Mexican food and watch Dr. Ruth. Baby's still cooking, but not for me. Got another man that's plain to see. Oh, my She's a making out one time more.
Baby still cooking hot for me. She's got another man's plain to see.
Hey man, I saw my baby at the grocery store, but she ain't cooking for me no more. Oh, don't you know she's buying the hot dogs and hamburger meat, all the kind of things that I don't eat, no, no.
I'm gonna check this amp meter here, this clamp meter. This one's kind of finicky, so we're gonna